All right. So let's build our business with expireds 101. I created a 201 as well. However, that would be a story for another day. So what are expireds? They are the easiest source of inventory. Now, the reason they're the easiest source of inventory, because it's the only lead in real estate that you could wake up in the morning and take a listing that afternoon every day. For sale by owners, yes, you could do it, but like they're nurtures, they're time. But like expireds, like they've already said, I want to sell, and they listed with somebody that's failed. I mean, that's the gist of expireds. They listed with somebody and that agent failed at their job. Hence, the listing expired. They're high reward. They're intense. Has anyone experienced an expired being really intense on the phone? Yeah, they're intense because there's a lot of competition and they're getting bombarded with calls. So the key is bring energy. Bring energy. You have to match them where they're at. Mimic, mirroring, and matching, and we'll get into some of that later, is vital to keeping expireds on the phone. And so if I don't touch on it, make sure that I do. I'll give you guys a whole breakdown of mimic, mirroring, and matching and how important that is. Your mindset matters. Like what I'm doing right now is I'm giving you guys a foundation for like truly how to crush expireds. In your minds, you have to assume the relationship that they are ready to list again. And through your dialogue, you're the natural progression. You're the natural next agent. Expireds, time is of the essence. A hot expired is gonna relist within 72 hours. So getting to them is vital. Yes, there's a technique where you can call older expireds. However, and we're going to get into the motivated expireds, time is of the essence. And last, we have to get in the mindset of the seller. What is their goals? What is their vision? What is their motivation? What are they looking for in a real estate agent? What do they not have? What would they expect you to do? The 4 Ds. There are 2 types of sellers, have tos and want tos. Have tos and want tos. A want to is exactly that. If I get my price, I'll sell. Maybe we'll move if we find something. A have to, the sale is outside of their control. The sale is outside of their control. And here are the 4 Ds of have to sellers: death, divorce, debt, and relocation. I'm not going to say 3 Ds and an R. So the job is relocation. So when you're having conversations, your goal is to determine, are they one of the 4 Ds? So now let me pause. When I said that, I'm going to go back, that sellers are intense and we have to bring the energy. The best expireds fall into these categories. So I'll give you an example. Divorce situation. Husband, wife, partners hate each other. And part of the divorce is the house. Equity they need to sell. So they interviewed agents and they listed, and the agent's awesome. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, right? Listings are 6 months, 180 days. We're 4 months in, house hasn't sold. Now, I don't know how it is in your neck of the woods, but I know with all of my experience that usually when things go bad in this industry, most real estate agents stop communicating. Like that's like a telltale sign that shit's going sideways. is when the agent stops taking your call or the loan officer stops taking your call. You're like, oh, wow, things are going sideways. Well, same thing with this. Like, most expireds haven't talked to their agent in weeks, if not ever. And they're locked into a contract. So now, the divorce situation. Husband, wife hate each other. The only thing keeping them in the same hemisphere of needing to communicate is the listing. And they haven't talked to their agent, and you're the first person to call them. And you say something to the effect of, hi, I'm looking for Jeff. Hey, Jeff, this is Lee over at ABC Realty. Notice that your home came up on the market today as an expired listing. And I was calling to see, when do you plan on hiring the right agent for the job of selling your home? And they're like, who are you? Where have you been? What? Whoa, like, that's what you're looking for. I'll give you another scenario. Parents passed away, the kids inherited the property, and they have $80,000 in debt, the kid or the kids. And they hired a real estate agent 6 months ago, and the agent promised them they'd sell the house fast. And they're like, I got to pay off this debt. You call them first thing in the morning. Hey, this is Lee over at ABC Realty. Notice your home came off the market today, and I was curious. When do you plan on hiring the right agent for the job of selling your home? And they're like, what? Who are you? Where have you been my whole life? Versus what most agents do. Hi, this is Lee at 123 Realty, and I was curious if your home came off the market. When do you plan on hiring the right agent for the job of selling your home? You guys feel and see the difference when you are in the mindset of the seller, understanding that we are looking for those that are looking for us. Death, divorce. They're upside down on the property. Help me. I need to sell this property. I can't afford it. I got laid off. Get me out of this property. That's who we're looking for when it comes to expired listings. How about this one? Ready for this scenario? Husband, wife, partner, job relocation. They go, we got plenty of runway. Where job relo happens in 90 days. Let's list the house now. 90 days go by, property still on the market. Husband or wife moves to another state or 3 hours away. Month 4, month 5. Now, anyone in here ever do a long distance relationship? I have. All of a sudden, month 4, month 5, they're going to happy hours with their coworkers. FaceTime is only doing so much. They're missing the kids. And then you call. Hey, this is Lee over at ABC Realty. Notice that your home came off the market today, and I was curious. When do you plan on hiring the right agent for the job of selling your home? Wow, where have you been? Like, yo, I need this house sold yesterday. Can you come over tonight? Yes. Yes, I can. That's what we're looking for with expireds. You're not looking for the person that's like, well, if I get my price, I'll sell. Well, that's why it expired. You're looking for a have-to seller. Okay, I've heard, I'm gonna give you guys an updated, there's a 5th D, and that's diamonds. And that's people that came together, that had a property and it expired, or baby, need to upgrade, downgrade, like that can fall into this. But the 4 Ds right there are your pain-driven people you're looking for. And we can come back to this, but let me keep going. So now the anatomy of an expired call. 1, always go into it with a positive mindset. Affirmations, role play partners, go into your sessions ready, willing, able to handle the intensity. Logic makes them think, emotion makes them act. Somebody in this case, in one of these, they're emotional. They're gonna act. They're gonna react. It's our job to get them into logic, but us being in the mindset to get to their level first, to get to their level of intensity so that we can connect with them at their level. If they're coming at you and you're just, all right, well, I'm calling through the list, just gonna make dials, they're gonna eat you up. But if you go into your calls ready to meet whoever they are, wherever they are, because odds are if they're really mad, they're hot, they're ready, they're reflexing with their energy, and then we just build rapport by using the dialogues as our tool. We build rapport by, I already gave you guys the intro, so we go in with the right mindset. You have to have your intro down. Hey, this is Lee with blank, with ABC Realty. Notice your home came off the market today, and I was curious. When do you plan on hiring the right agent for the job of selling your home? Whatever intro you decide to use, you have to internalize it so that you are not guessing, you are not curious, you are not waiting, you are not hesitant, you are in it so that you can build rapport immediately by mimic, mirroring, and matching. So I'll give you an example. Right now, I'm behaving a bit intense. Yet, if an old man or an old woman was to answer, I'd say, hi, this is Lee over at ABC Realty. You know, your house came off the market today and I was curious. When do you plan on hiring the right agents for the job of selling your home? I'm gonna match their intensity. I'll give you guys another one. And this one might make you feel some type of way, but if somebody is from the South, hi, this is Lee over at ABC Realty. I'm gonna match them in the first couple sentences so that they connect with me. Now, I'm not saying for you to be fake, but what I am saying is people hang out with people like them. People want to be around people like them. So I'm gonna pause here. I did an exercise at the very start of my career, and it was talk to 20 people really fast. Like talk really fast, abnormally fast. See how they react to you. Then talk to 10 people really slow. And talk abnormally slow and see what they do. And you would see, what I saw was the people that talked really slow stayed on the phone with me. And the people that talked really fast would hang up. And then I learned if I just do exactly what they do, they'll all stay on the phone with me. And so the mimic, mirroring, and matching is a key piece of this, because the game is just to keep them on the phone so that you can talk to them more. And you don't need to be right. You don't need to be you at this point. Be more like them so that you have an opportunity to help them. As twisted as that might sound, that's what we need to do. We need them to stay on the phone long enough so that we can diagnose them. And we do that by asking questions. The questions are our tools. Once we have enough questions answered, we then ask for the appointment. In other words, if we realize that they're a have to, we're gonna ask for the appointment. Usually when we ask for an appointment, they're going to say no, and they're gonna give us an objection. That's why studying the objection handlers is vital to success on the telephone and success in appointments. Because most people are gonna say no. And then it's our job to say, it's not no, it's they need to know more. And we do that by handling objections and then asking them more questions. Once we handle objections, we then close and we put the notes into our CRM. Whether it's, so let me say this, every conversation, one of three things should happen. Every single person you call, we get an appointment, we get a referral, or number three, which will happen more than the first two, we strengthen the relationship. We strengthen the relationship. And we strengthen the relationship by asking questions, taking notes, and then the next time we talk to them, we use the notes as if they're the most important person on earth. Hey, last time we talked, you said your dog Fido wasn't feeling well. How's Fido doing? I don't remember shit. It just came up in the CRM and now I'm going to use it because my job is to strengthen the relationship. Does this make sense, guys? Awesome. For the anatomy of a call. So now, the dialogue. So, as you guys could see, I've done this about 1 billion times. Verbatim, I did it over and over and over again with you guys. Hi, I'm looking for blank. My name is blank with blank. I'm sure you figured out that your home came up on our computer as an expired listing. And I was calling to see, when do you plan on hiring the right agent for the job of selling your home? Not are you still selling? When do you plan on interviewing the right agent? I'm the right agent for the job of selling your home. They might say never. And then you say, terrific. And then you go into the actual questions. Now, I'm going to pause here for a second. Are we getting a little value out of today so far? Awesome. I want you guys to think every time you ever go to buy something at a store. You go to the store, you know you're going to buy something, but the first person comes up to you and says, can I help you? And you get that pit in your stomach and you know they can help you, but you say, no, I'm just looking. That's called a reflex no. And it's a natural human behavior. Your job is to take the reflex no, appreciate it, but keep going. Because it doesn't mean no, it just means they have to know more or they have to feel comfortable to actually open up to you. So now we're going to go into the meat or the actual questions. And again, the purpose of these questions are to gauge, are they a have to? So if you sold the home, where would you go next? If you sold this home because they tried to sell it, the agent failed. So where are you going? How soon do you have to be there? Say their name. One thing you guys, I want you to take away from this, humans love to hear their names. They love it. It's a little secret. So use it. Use people's names more than you feel comfortable using it and watch them engage with you more. So, Jeff, what do you think stopped your home from selling? How did you happen to pick the last agent you listed with? What did that agent do that you like best? What do you feel they should have done? So I'll walk you guys through this. If you sold a home, where would you go? All right, motivation. How soon do you have to be there? Motivation. What do you think stopped your home from selling? I want to hear what they think. Here's the truth about listings, guys. 9.5 out of 10 expireds expire for one reason. It starts with a P and ends with ice. It's the only reason things expire. So I would just want them to tell me what they think was the reason, and they're going to start venting. when in reality, there's only one reason. The agent could not help them determine the price that would cause it to sell. How did you happen to pick the last agent with? So what did you think stopped the home from selling? How did you happen to pick the last agent? Now we're starting to get them riled up. We're starting to get them to give us more information. Hey, what did they do that you like best? Give me some positive. Then what do you feel they should have done? And 9 out of 10 are gonna say, sell the damn house. That's what they should have done. I need to move. I need to get out of here. I need to pay off debt. They're gonna start opening up at this point. So now, what would you expect from the next agent you choose? Have you already chosen an agent to work with? I'd like to apply for the job of selling your home. Are you familiar with the techniques that I use to sell homes? They're gonna say, no. You're kidding. One would be the best time to show you. I have some time this afternoon at 6, or would tomorrow at 2 be better? And that's called an alternate close. You're not asking them, would you like to meet? It's what would be the best time, blank or blank. It's called an alternative close. All right, so let me kind of open this up here. From the script, any questions just about the language here?
I have a question.
Go.
Who's feeling uncomfortable about this?
What?
Just raise your hand. Okay, a few people. And why are you feeling uncomfortable about this?
It's all right, we're human. Fire away.
I feel like I can't get them to this point.
Say that again?
I feel like I can't even get them to this point.
Well, with respect to that, let's go back here. Is this all new to you? Like the anatomy of the call, is that like a new, like, hey, am I going into the call with a positive mindset? They're home, they're ready, they're going to answer, they're gonna be nice. Are you going into the call, or are you going into the call like, they're gonna go through? Oh. So here's something on that, because I'm speaking for me. Our energy, I'm gonna go deep with you guys. Our energy precedes us. We are all energy beings. Whether you believe it or not, we all radiate energy. And so energy is transformed or transferred. And so if we are going into the call, anything other than, I'm ready, like, come at me, they feel that. They can feel that in the moment they answer the phone and you go, hi. They feel that. It's immediate. And so I'll give you an example. Think of any time you've ever been pulled over and the cop walks up and says, license and registration, please. Never. License and registration, please. Because they're authority. They're ready. Their mindset is, you're going to give me the license or I'm going to do something about it. That's where we have to be, assuming the relationship, using our energy as the authority. And they'll stay on. Now, again, I'm giving you a blanket. There's going to be jerks. But I'll tell you what, when someone's a jerk, be a jerk. Because here's the truth. There are no jerks in the world. Guys, there's no jerks in the world. They're only a jerk because of you showing up. Because if you took someone that's, oh my God, this sucks. God, life sucks. And you put them in a room with someone's like, God, life sucks. They're like, yo, your life sucks too? How fucking cool. Like, our lives suck. Like, life is, there are no jerks in the world. They're only a jerk because they're interacting with how you thought it was supposed to go. I went really deep there with you guys. And if you get that, that's like the magic to prospecting. There are no jerks. No one is mean. They're mean because you had an agenda that didn't match with theirs and they blew up. But if you meet them where they're at and you get at their energy, watch them back down. Or they'll hang up the phone, then you just go to the next person. But that right there, I think, is the key to getting people to stay on the phone. Mimic, mirror, and match. If they're intense, get intense. Go at them. And I don't mean be a jerk, but I mean like match them. Like if they're, what do you want? I want to sell your home. So when do you plan to move? What? Look, your home came off the market today as an expired listing, and I was calling to see, when do you plan to hire the right agent? Whoa, nobody's talked to me like that. Yeah, that's why your house came off the market, because you've been talking to agents that just kind of dance with you. You came at me, sir. When do you plan on moving so I can help you get there? Now, you can only do that if you know what to say and you are comfortable in what to say. And then you'll find that the meanest people, they're just hurt humans, and you just got them past that energy. And the reason they were like so intense was because they're mad, and you're their solution. Because here's another truth to real estate. Most real estate agents suck. There's a PSA for you guys. Most real estate agents aren't good. And so what makes a good real estate agent is their ability to ask questions. And so most agents, if we were to use a doctor, a seller who's a have to, and their property expires, they were misdiagnosed. Like an expired listing with a have to seller is an absolute misdiagnosis. It's like, oh, hey, you know, I have a cough, and they're like, oh, take some aspirin and drink some water and get some rest. Versus going, oh, you have a cough? Well, how long have you had the cough? Do you have a fever? Did you travel outside the United States? Is anyone else in your house sick? Do you have any allergies? Like, we're gonna diagnose. And so, kind of went down a rabbit hole there, but does that help a little bit? What else?
Why else are you uncomfortable about this?
I think for myself, it's just when I've tried calling these in the past, I've always said I needed a hug afterward, right? So I appreciate, this is a totally different approach, so I appreciate this part, but I'm still bringing the anxiety of my past experiences where it wasn't pleasant, and I would quickly abandon it and go back to our other lead sources. So,
and on that, anything worthwhile is uphill, and that's a John Maxwell line. And so when you look at this might be a bad example, yet gambling, high risk, high reward. Well, this isn't gambling, and yet it's high risk, high reward. It's high emotion, yet find me anything else you can call every day and go take a listing that afternoon. Every day. And so you will deal with, well, not that you will, an expired prospector will deal with the emotion to know that, hey, look, if I have 100 contacts a week of expireds, I'm gonna take 4 listings a month. Like, I'm just gonna, like, that's, by the way, those numbers I just said, if I speak to 100 people a week, I'll take 4 listings a month. That's 96 people with tremendous energy, negative energy, bless you, to take 4 listings. So the question is, who else can you call 96 contacts and get 4 listings? And so that's, again, it's all playing games and trying to keep the mindset around it, but they're intense. There's no doubt. No matter how good you are, they're intense.
And here's the thing, most of those expireds are going to relist. Why not with you?
Right. And the ones that aren't, like someone who's super mean, just be like, look, they weren't gonna list anyway. They're a wounded animal. Bye. And just move on to the next one. Because remember, they're wounded. They listed with a colleague, a professional real estate agent who failed at their job. All right, so let me go here and dive into this. How to get motivation. Where are you moving to? In your opinion, what was the reason your home didn't sell? Did you have any offers when you had the property listed? How many showings did you have during the listing period? Now, that's a broad question where you're just kind of getting them because they're not going to know the answer to that. And then you could say, in the last 2 weeks, how many showings did you have? But what you really want is to wedge a gap here and say, what was the feedback you got from your agent? Because again, most agents listed and leave it. And so you're wedging a gap. Wouldn't feedback be important? Now I'm going to give you guys an extra credit line for those of you taking notes. Anytime you're getting feedback from showings as a listing agent, here's the number one question to ask the buyer's agent. And you ask it just like this. What can the seller do? What can the seller do to initiate an offer? What can the seller do to initiate an offer from the buyer? What can the seller do to initiate an offer from the buyer? Not my seller, not your buyer. What can the seller do to initiate an offer from the buyer? That is the most powerful line you can ask in getting feedback because it puts everyone in a sales situation. So I'll give you an example. They didn't like the kitchen. Oh, can I get some feedback? Oh, they didn't like the kitchen. They didn't like the kitchen. Fair. What can the seller do to initiate an offer? Well, they didn't like the kitchen. Okay, so if we gave you $10,000, if we gave you $15,000 at closing so that the buyer can redo the kitchen, could we get an offer? The house doesn't have a pool. Okay, so if we give you 3% concessions at closing, cover all the closing costs, and the buyer could get a pool in the backyard after closing, could we put a deal together? I wish the house was fenced. Great. So if we gave you a concession in closing, could we get an offer so you guys could put a fence in? What can the seller do to initiate an offer from the buyer? So back here, what's the feedback? Are you as the owner willing to make changes to have the home sell? In other words, stage, paint, do some updates, upgrades. What kind of marketing strategies were initiated from the previous listing company and what were the results? In other words, we're wedging a gap. What type of strategies were they doing? Are you familiar with the marketing strategies we do? Now you just created an opportunity to get in the door. Top objections. I didn't know it was expired. I'm going to relist with the same agent. That's going to be your number one. I'm just going to relist. I'm going to sell it myself, or I don't need an agent. I'm taking it off the market. I already found another agent. Where were you when my house was on the market? Tell me what you're going to do over the phone. Just tell me. All right. So we got 7 minutes. I'll go through these and I can share this slide deck with you, Jess, so that they have all this. That there's no worries. So here, first one. I didn't know I was expired. First is eliminate the previous agent. So obviously your agent wasn't doing a good job communicating with you what's going on in the marketplace. Ouch. Your agent hasn't called you yet? Because remember, they said, I didn't know my house was expired. And 3, has your agent sat down with you and talked to you about how they're going to get your property sold again? I'm going to relist with the same agent. First question, always, did you already sign? I understand you're probably going to feel loyal to your previous agent, and I'm curious, what do you feel your previous agent's going to do differently this time around? I mean, it certainly wouldn't hurt to stop by and show you how we get so many homes sold the second go round, wouldn't it? Let me pause here for a second. So there's an old saying in real estate, and it's you want to be the firstborn, second spouse, third realtor. Little old saying for expired listings. Because by the time they're on their third realtor, they're gonna do whatever you tell them to do. They're like, all right, whatever. You sound like you know what you're doing, take it. And so get curious. All right. So I'm just gonna sell it myself. I don't need an agent. Well, I can completely understand why you would want to sell it yourself. In other words, I'm always affirming. I can completely understand why you'd want to sell it yourself after what you've been through. And realistically, you're better off selling it yourself than be with an agent who doesn't understand the market. Would you want an agent who sold 107 homes in 2021 or the average agent who sells 12? Clearly, I haven't done this presentation in a while. Top objections. I'm going to sell it myself. I don't need an agent. Seller. By the way, I don't know you personally, and I just spoke to you for a couple minutes. I can already tell you know what you're doing. You sound like a very smart person, and you really sound like you could definitely get this property sold. And at the same time, let me ask you this. If I could sit down with you for a few minutes, say 15 to 20, and show you how I can sell this property for you, do all the work, and ultimately allow you to walk away with more money than you would sell it yourself, why wouldn't you meet with me? I'm taking it off the market. That might be the best decision. I completely agree. If you did sell the home, where would you move to? So remember, guys, they listed. They had plans. And here's the truth. Nobody puts their house on the market to just see what happens. Like, who on their right mind will want strangers walking through their house, have their house stay completely crystal clean, have very little privacy, especially if they have kids that have to clean up like the blocks and all that stuff, and then just go, oh, I'm not going to sell anymore. Like, guys, think about that. That's absolutely weird behavior. So when they say I'm just going to take it off the market, like, we gotta understand that's their reflex. That's them saying, oh, I don't want to deal with another agent. You guys all are the same. Does that help? Like, I'm trying to help you guys kind of wrap your head around just the randomness that is, I'm completely not doing this anymore, which is, I hear you. So if you did sell, where are you moving to? And why was that important? If you do move, well, yeah, what would you do if you moved? If I could show you a way to make that happen, would you be interested? And you see, I specialize in houses that didn't sell the first time. Even the best houses don't sell the first time. It takes a new approach, new ideas like I use to sell houses or get houses sold. I already found another agent. Have you signed anything? It certainly wouldn't hurt to get a second opinion. I mean, people with open heart surgery who are diagnosed with having to have open heart surgery, they get second opinions. And even though this isn't surgery, this is financial surgery with your biggest investment. Would you agree? So I have some time this afternoon at 4, or would 6 be better before you get locked in at a weak moment with a weak agent? Where were you when my house was on the market? Look, I certainly understand how you feel, but did you know you have to sell a home twice in order to get it sold? May I explain? See, agents sell houses to the agents, and then those agents sell it to their clients. And quite frankly, your agent never sold this house to me. That's one of the best things that I do. I expose your house to all the agents in the area, and I make calls daily, just like I'm doing right now to you, to find the right buyers for the sellers that decide to work with me. I mean, that's what you want, isn't it? And so with that said, I'll stop there for a second, stop sharing, and I'll share this thing. How did we do?